Hey guys, it's Matt.
And Chels.
And I'm Dennis.
What are we gonna? Okay, so what do you want to call this show? That's another thing I've been meaning to talk to you for so long, but
I basically just came in with. I thought it was a placeholder name, the German American Metal Podcast. But since then, I did not come up with any better ideas, to be honest.
yeah, I didn't either, did I? No, I did not.
It's kind of hard to decide a name, especially for. It's just a podcast, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's just three people talking music. So
Yes. And,
yeah,
and maybe other stuff in the future.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
I think the general topic is metal in general.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I think we will leave it at this name for now because I think it will
Yeah,
work pretty good.
okay, I like it.
Yeah, and since you did the intro, I will say what topic we are talking about. We are kicking
Sweet.
off with the general topic of how we got into metal. And I wrote down metal and heavier stuff because metal is a completely world on its own.
Oh yeah, it's
I
so spread out.
I remember I saw kind of a tree of all the subgenres, and it's 200 was on
Oh
there
my
Wow.
gosh.
maybe, and
That's
it
over that many.
it it has been years since I saw that, so I guess right now we may be at 400 or stuff like this. I don't know.
Wow.
Also, I don't care about special genres or subgenres anymore. I used to, but now not at all.
No,
There's only one genre. I like it or I don't like it. E-
exactly.
Right.
Yep.
easy, kind of easy. Yeah, that's the general topic, and I think we can do a short little segment in the beginning of our latest top discoveries. Like take 1 to 5 songs, depending on if it was a good month or not.
Okay.
And what date is it today? It's already February. I added one which I recorded today. So you go first.
Well, okay, so that's actually pretty cool because we recorded one last night. There was a band in Slovenia that wanted us to check them out, and they were pretty good. It's Maltese
Maltese metalcore.
metalcore
Mhm.
Oh, that
is how
sounds.
they described it, and it was like it was it kind of had like that early 2000s new metal vibe meets
Ooh,
modern metal, and it was good.
that
Mhm.
sounds really nice. Do you remember the
Decline
Yeah,
the
band name?
fall.
yeah,
Decline the
Decline the
Fall.
Fall.
Yep.
You did that one. Good job.
Thank you.
I have not heard of them.
Yeah, we hadn't either, and
Mm-mm.
man, it
I
was
will write
bad.
that down. Stealing ideas on the fly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why we're here.
I actually did that when I started the channel. I looked around what people are reacting to and thought, okay, let's see how I can fit in some reactions there. I missed the opportunity to react to Hyper Hyper because I guess that was the song that kicked off almost every reaction channel out there.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Hypa Hypa, we wouldn't be where we are with all the viewers now. Hypa Hypa and pretty much Infinite Annihilator.
Mhm.
Yes, I wish I could do reactions to Infinite Annihilator, but I already know every song by them. So I can't. It wouldn't be real. So I don't do it.
Yeah. I think you should continue on with Ginger. I don't
Yes,
know if you know everything they've done, but you should definitely continue on with Ginger.
I know not many songs. I know the ones which are out there already for reactions, but I don't know any more of them, I think. But I have them on my list for sure. Also, I recorded the first and the second episode for the Orbit Culture Experience because I thought I may do just every song.
Oh, sweet.
And I
So how
think,
many songs did you listen to?
oh, I don't even remember. I know I did the latest album almost halfway through already, just by doing regular reactions to it. And I decided, yeah, why not do everything? And I can tell you that much. You can hear it in the old songs as well. They have a very unique sound. And I think you will like it as well, because I know you are fans of Metallica. So you will
Yes.
love it
Yeah.
for sure. But we are losing
I'll look
track.
forward to that. Yeah,
Yeah.
we are.
We are already going into the talking part. Okay, so you had Decline the Fall
Yes.
as your first one. Do you have more? It doesn't even have to be one from a reaction.
Yeah, no. Trying to think. Let me look at my Spotify real quick. Because,
Are we just talking about newish music that we've
No.
checked out?
yeah.
Is that what we were talking about?
Yeah.
I would say no. If you didn't know about a song which came out in the 60s and you discovered it now, it's fine for me.
Oh. Okay. That works.
Then you have 10 other songs. Okay, in the meantime, I will jump in with my first two because they are from the
Yes.
same band. One is Mute the Silent by Orbit Culture, and the other one is Walk Blood or Walk Blood. I still have no clue how to say it because it's spelled Wargblod, and blood is spelled with two O's. So I have no clue how to say it. Both are bonus tracks from the latest album, and I listen to them every day. So I put them up there for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, you again.
Me again. Okay. So I would have to say Decline the Fall. We checked out their new song Nemesis. It was their
Okay.
newer song, right?
Mm-hmm.
Really, really good track. And it's Maltese metalcore. And they're a band from Slovenia. And it had that new metal meets modern metalcore vibe to it. It was a really interesting song.
It sounds
And
interesting.
then another one that I can easily recommend is He Is Legend.
A song
If you've never
or
listened,
band?
it's a band. He Is Legend is a band from North Carolina in the U.S. And their album White Bat, solid from beginning to end. That's my daily listener. Has been for about 2 years now.
Yeah. Especially in the summertime. Like he plays it all year long, but in the last 2 summers, it has been a staple.
Consistent.
Like if we're back in the backyard, we're listening to White Bat.
I might confuse it with the movie I Am Legend, but I think I heard that name in the past. I'm not sure, but I will look it up. I will look it up.
We have actually seen them live. That's how we,
Found out about him.
yeah.
Nice.
And then we started really listening to them after seeing them live. So we weren't fans before we saw them live.
It happens sometimes. The same thing happened to me years ago with Paradise Lost. They have been the pre-band for him. And
Oh, really?
I realized that has been 10 to 15 years ago already. I'm old. Not really, but if you remember stuff from 10 to 15 years ago, you feel old. basically.
You do have. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I am.
This doesn't have to be in the podcast.
It can be in the podcast because it's not a secret. I'm 32 years old. And you?
Oh,
I think.
35.
Okay. I thought we are in the same range, and we are,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I turned 32 in April.
I wouldn't ask you because you never ask a woman about her age.
Oh, it's fine. Doesn't bother me.
Yeah. Okay. So Decline the Fall and He is Legend. I wrote them down as well because I want to check them out as well. One thing I also posted in the Discord, Loon or Looney. I have no clue how to say it. Lune. Also, 2 songs. The first one is the word I hate the most, manipulator. I hate this word. I don't even know how to say it. And
You did
misery.
great.
Yeah.
Okay. And Misery Dialogue. I also recorded that one today. They are from Australia, I think. Also a very small band. They have 500 subscribers on their channel, but heavy, really heavy, and really, really good. I can only suggest to check them out as well.
Okay. Definitely will. Looney. Lune.
Yes, I have no idea if it's Looney or Loon,
Loon.
but I would spell Loon Loon usually, like moon just with an L. But who knows? They are from Australia.
Man, I love me some Australian metalcore.
Metalcore and deathcore, yeah. They know how it works. Also, have you checked out To the Grave? The band To the Grave?
I've not checked out To the Grave.
Oh, you
And there are
have to.
so many I know. You've told us that. There have been other people that told us that we need to check out To the Grave, and we need to get on that. There's To the Grave. There's Anne is Okay. Is that how you say it? Anne is Okay?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Inspired
And,
by Michael Jackson, actually, the name.
Is it really?
Yes. They are huge
That's
fans of Michael Jackson, and I think their first video on their channel was a cover of oh man, I don't remember, but it was a Michael Jackson metalcore cover.
Oh, wow.
That's-
Yeah, we got to check those guys out.
That's how they got inspired for the name. Any more?
I like trivia like that. Anymore? What's your
I don't have anything to add.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't given the questions in advance, so I don't
Oh.
have an answer.
I did actually not write down this one as a question. I just thought it would be kind of a cool continuous opener, because if we do it regularly, we can.
You're nodding at something over there. There's there's no one over there. Woo.
I thought we can maybe do it continuously every month. So
Yes.
also it
We
makes
listen to enough music.
yes, definitely. Also, it makes you kind of think about the music again.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Well, for next time, I'll make sure that I start thinking about it.
It's fine. It's just the pilot episode, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you and your yes.
Yeah.
He says yeah a lot. I write yeah too often, way too often. I hate it,
There's
kind of.
another phrase that you say a lot,
Dude.
and I meant to point it out. No, well, no.
A dude is
When
such
you're talking again, you say something.
dude is such an American thing. It's
It
like
is.
it's like bro,
It really is.
basically, but not the hipster version, I guess.
Yeah. The dude thing, I'm only obsessed with that because I grew up with Steve-O. You know?
Oh yeah, dude. I remember.
Exactly.
I remember.
Stuck with me. Yep. Something that's never gone away. My kids, I call them dude.
Yeah, like everyone in this house calls each other dude. It's silly.
I think
Bad example.
I read something about the word dude. It comes from California. The roots of the word are from California. It's a Californian
Hmm.
thing, the surfers and skaters, but it's
Um,
spread all over the US and all over the world,
yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm happy that it's not a thing in Germany. Well, it kind of is, but the German word would be alter. It's older, basically.
Hmm.
Or it's similar to dude, but I try to avoid it. Also, in Germany, a huge hipster thing is to speak half English, half German. I
Oh,
hate
that would
it.
drive me crazy.
I hate it because the people who do this usually can't speak good English. That bothers me the most because you are talking half German, half English, and you can't phrase one English sentence. Why?
Hmm.
Don't use English then. So, yeah. But we are losing track again. It seems to be our thing, talking about everything but our topic.
It's the way it goes. We get off track all the time. So do you want to kick it off with what brought you into metal?
I would say I will let you go first.
You're gonna let me go first, and then Chels, and then you.
Yes, or Chels goes first, and then you. I'm flexible.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to start off by asking a question, or do we just have it pop up on the screen and then I get into it?
You
How
can
do you want to do?
basically just start because I have not thought about any questions
Okay.
because it's a
Uh,
podcast, not an interview. So I
that's
thought
true.
I don't need any questions.
That's very true. You don't need questions with podcasts. Um, man, getting into metal, it didn't always start like that. Growing up as a kid, um, my mom listened to a lot of 80s, classic 80s rock, REO Speedwagon, Styx, Michael Jackson, Van Halen, and, Motley Crue. And then I kind of got into the pop music scene when I was a kid. In all honesty, I went through it. I was mad in love with Britney Spears, not gonna lie. Uh,
Of course, you are a guy.
but yeah, no, I went through a little pop phase. Moved around a lot as a kid, so music was my general thing to go into to stay happy with. So I was across the board. We moved to the Midwest, and I even went through a small country phase, regrettably, and like not good country either, if that even exists. But you get what I'm saying.
There's some decent country. I
What
mean, I like some of it.
what is not good country? For example, because in Germany it's not a thing anymore.
It's not.
Country isn't a thing anymore for a long time.
We country over here is so mainstream. It doesn't even sound country anymore. It's like,
Country has almost just become pop now.
yeah, it really has.
Like they
Okay.
blend so much together.
Like if there were anyone out there country wise I would listen to now, it's Chris Stapleton because he reminds me of that old Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, the Outlaws of Country. Those have always been my favorite.
Okay.
Um, and then, but that was a short phase. Uh, I got pretty heavy into Eminem and D12, Jay Z, Busta Rhymes.
So we might
I had a
share the same
very
story.
Yeah, I had a very influential friend who would burn me off CDs like crazy. I also had a cousin that would burn me off CDs, and the stuff my cousin would give me would be like Blink 182. That's who actually got me into the pop punk was my cousin. Some stuff like that, but most of the stuff is rap. I got really heavy into the rap stuff. My parents were not big into it at all. Anytime they found it, they threw it away. They hated it. So I lived in this little town, like population 1,000, and there was a pawn shop that I would go into and I would buy CDs. And that's where I got like Third Eye Blind, really started getting into 90s alternative music. That was where I started to swing more into the rock with Third Eye Blind. Everclear was another one of my favorites. Um, shoot, Bush. Liked a lot of those guys. I never got into grunge. That's one of those genres I never got into. I'm not a Nirvana fan. Uh, I get a
I'm
lot of crap for that one.
I'm also not really. I like one or two songs. That's it.
Yeah,
I
and
like some grungy stuff, probably more so than you do.
more so than me. I'm more of the Stone Temple Pilots and stuff like that. Uh, but that being said, in the
That being
punk show,
said, that's what it is.
that's the one.
Yep.
That's the one.
I
That's the
knew
one I
you'd say
noticed.
it eventually.
Yep.
I also recognize it from from the reactions, but it works. So who cares?
But actually, this is weird. One of the first heavy CDs I bought, actually, the first CD I ever bought was the Ozman Cometh by Ozzy Osbourne. It was his greatest hits CD. So that to me was the first real actual metal musician that really attracted my attention. But it wasn't just the music, it was the sound of Ozzy's voice and the guitar solos that Randy Rhoads had on a lot of those songs, and also the mythology behind Ozzy. I've always been heavily attracted to the shock values of things, and it really attracted me on that one.
Yes,
But
I can
I bought a CD.
clearly see that because the same
Yeah,
thing happened to me.
did it really?
Yes, shock factor, and I'm in.
Yep, yep. That was the way. That was what was so great about the West Coast gangster rap that I loved. It was the shock factor, the fact that what these guys were saying, I knew I wasn't supposed to be listening to, but I
Yes,
loved it.
exactly.
And then it just went into that. And but one of the first bands that actually got me into the harder rock metal was Sugar Ray. I don't know if you remember those guys.
Maybe not yet,
Uh,
not right now, but I think I heard of them. Yes.
Sugar Ray was a 1990s, unfortunately more known for their pop rock side, but their album Floored, I got it at a pawn shop for like $1, and I could not stop listening to it because it was heavy, it was aggressive, it had all that stuff like, oh, I know if I played this would piss my parents off.
Yes.
So it was great, but unfortunately, Sugar Ray is one of those bands that sold out to the label because they put out their song "Fly," and it was such a pop radio success that they were like,
Didn't
"Hey,
they have songs in the movie Shrek?
that's Smash Mouth."
Smash Mouth. Oops.
Along the same lines, though, is because that's where Sugar Ray went with their music. They went with the pop
Okay, then that's why I
rock
thought
feel
that because they kind of have a similar.
of Smash Mouth and everything. And not saying that it wasn't bad. It's just it lost my interest, and then I started pursuing heavier things, uh, Metallica, and then you swing into the age where I had a TV in my bedroom, and I would watch wrestling when I wasn't allowed to. So I would stuff a towel under my door and put headphones on and watch it. And you had people like Triple H who came out to Motorhead, and I was like, man, this is metal. This is awesome. So then it went on. I went through a very very heavy punk phase in high school, anti-establishment punk, Bad Religion, Anti-Flag, Pennywise, Rancid, Operation Ivy. If it was, you know, Anarchy, some Sex Pistols thrown in there. I was never really into the Ramones. That's one of those bands that, eh. Um, but that's where I
Same.
met when I met you. Was when I was going through that phase. You remember that? And I surprisingly went through one of those emo phases too.
I skipped the emo
I went
phase.
I went into the Taking Back Sunday, My Chemical Romance,
Oh
Panic at the
goodness.
Disco.
Oh no.
It was some good stuff. I didn't get into all of it. Not all of it was for me. Like Fallout Boy is one of those that,
Well,
eh. And then The one that did me in was Slipknot.
Yes.
The first metal video I saw was Korn's "Freak on a Leash," the one that really just stuck with me, and that was like, oh shit, this is some good stuff. And that's when I started noticing more with Disturbed and Slipknot. But when I saw Slipknot, that was it, man. It's game over. It was as heavy as I could go from there on. That was the gateway. And now it's like the heavier I can go, the better. Because now I'm with, I love Infinite Annihilator. That is probably my favorite thing out there. Uh,
Yes. For sure.
Cattle Decapitation, Thy Art is Murder, Fit for an Autopsy, Slaughter to Prevail. Yeah, it's
Shadow of
just,
Intent.
yep.
Yes. But Slipknot is the gateway to hell, basically.
It really is, man.
Because it started so many metalheads. I remember it was the first video I saw was, I think it was Duality. I saw it in the German. We also had MTV, and they had a show at 4 p.m. with a top 10. And Duality was in there for 4 or 6 weeks. And every time it came on, basically the whole room got trashed because everybody went nuts. Because usually we didn't have internet, PCs and stuff like this. We met up, everybody in front of the TV, watched the show, and then going out again. But I remember that was my first Slipknot video, and up to this day, still one of my favorite Slipknot songs.
That's a great one.
It is definitely.
The first Slipknot song I ever heard was the Heretic Anthem.
Also
And
pretty
I heard
good.
the live version. I heard the live version on the 2.0 album. It was actually the first live CD I went out and immediately bought. That was my first Slipknot CD. They had 2 albums out by the time that came out. But that was the first one I bought because I was like, oh, right, this is okay. And yeah, that's where I go from there. It's where I am now.
Definitely a good start.
Yeah.
Right, you want me to go next?
Yeah.
Yes.
How about you?
All right. I have listened to most genres my entire life. My dad listened to metal music, 80s hair bands. My mom listened to country, pop. Uh, I just heard a lot of rap and I wasn't supposed to be listening to it. But so I really grew up just listening to all the different genres. Metallica was one of the first bands that I really actually remember caring about, other than a couple pop bands. But I loved Metallica, and I could pick it up when my dad was listening to it in the truck. Oh yeah, that's Metallica. And so I guess I've always kind of had a metal appreciation, and I didn't really realize it until Matt and I got together and he started playing more heavier things. And the more I listen to it, the more it kind of takes me back. And I remember that I've always kind of liked metal music, but there's so many different subgenres. There's so much that I haven't heard. So yeah.
Yeah, there's so much to introduce you to still. I mean, because I can't even think of any Slipknot videos that you've seen.
No, I don't know that I have, huh?
She's not much of a music video person. I'm one of those people that could sit there on YouTube for hours just checking out
Oh,
new songs
for
and new
sure.
tracks. And same thing with Spotify. Like I get my recommended. I'm like, all right, let's check this out and just go with it. But
I'm also really bad at multitasking, so he can listen to an album and be listening to it and doing something else. And then he'll ask me about, like, oh, did you like that last song? And I have zero recollection of what was just playing because yeah.
true story. An insane breakdown will happen, and I'll be just air guitar banging my head in the kitchen, and we're like, "Did you catch that? No, damn."
She will catch it
How
afterwards
about you?
when the kitchen is destroyed, completely destroyed. um, I'm thinking where to start because we might share kind of the same story because I also got into punk really bad. I even had red hair. Yeah, you already named all the bands, Pennywise and stuff like this. What introduced me to the punk was Tony Hawk, actually. I never heard any punk song, I think, before I played Tony Hawk. And I really enjoyed the energy of the punk music. And yeah, then I went away from the punk music, also going really deep into hip hop and especially Eminem. Also, one of my, I guess it's still kind of a guilty pleasure because I think he is doing kind of a unique style of this music. But I haven't heard any new song for 10 years, maybe, by him. So I have no idea.
By
Yeah,
Eminem,
yes.
man, you
Maybe
should
even
check it
longer.
out. You should check out. Man, he's put out some good albums. Really has.
Okay. I will.
If you ever want to take a trip down memory lane, he's got some good stuff out.
I remember even I didn't buy the CD. I got it for my birthday when I was 14, I think. The one with the red. What's it called? In the theater? The red.
Oh, Curtain Call.
The curtains. Yes, curtain call.
Yeah.
I remember getting it for my 14th birthday. And I think I listened to it 4 weeks straight on loop, the whole album. Because I was such a huge fan of the previous album. Also, I guess it was a general thing, burning CDs for people and getting burned CDs from people. Back in the day, I also had so many of them. And yeah, I didn't go into pop at all, other than the stuff you can hear on the radio. And you can't turn off the radio if it's not your radio. But I didn't listen to it on purpose. I was a real hip hop head, even with the clothing and stuff like this. Completely. When I think back, I think I was crazy, really crazy. Also, my dad introduced me to Elvis. He had a huge collection of Elvis vinyls. Johnny Cash. I think many soul artists. I don't even know any of them. And also some blues stuff. He was very tolerant when it came to music. So basically, he would have been listening to everything. He didn't care. If the song was good, it was good. Basically, how I try to do it as well. Because I don't care about the genre. If I like it, I like it.
Yeah.
It's taste. It's a personal taste. And I have a huge respect for people who admit that they still listen to stuff that is not their typical genre. Because
Happens a lot in this house. I mean, I'm sure people would come to our house and think it was strange that we were all jamming out to Dua Lipa or
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. That's one that we all enjoy.
yeah, I have a huge respect, especially if they are ballsy enough to admit it on the internet, because the internet can be really bad.
Oh, it
But-
can be, but hey, you know,
But I don't care because it still is my personal taste, and I'm not doing my channel to push people into metal.
exactly.
And I think I'm just not an influencer, basically. I'm just a dude enjoying music and hoping to discover more music. I guess that's why we started our channels. At least
is.
I started it because of that.
Yeah. In the very first episode we did, or whatever you would call it, the very first video, we said, we love all music, so throw everything our way. Man, the it just went all metal. It just all metal. And
Yes.
we've even had some talks like we've thought about doing some things like Metalhead reacts to pop music, like modern day pop music, because I don't listen to anything other than the two she named off, really. Demi Lovato. I like Demi Lovato. Yeah. Anyway, that being said, damn it, there it goes. There it goes. Yeah.
I
Uh,
I actually thought of visiting my mom and scavenging some of the vinyls because the collection is kind of huge, and I wanted to look for hidden gems
oh
because
yeah.
I remember my mom has the single for Iron Maiden's "Run to the Hills." She loves that song. She hates every other song by Iron Maiden, but "Run to the Hills" is her thing completely.
That's really funny.
Also, my mom was kind of a huge fan of Kiss. I think it was in the 70s and 80s. And also all the hair metal thing. It was huge in the 70s and 80s. So
Mhm.
you couldn't really dodge it. So I guess that's what made me go into that area of music, basically.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time hearing Rolling by Limp Bizkit. And I think that was the first nail to stick me to metal. Because I enjoyed it over every other hip hop stuff I heard before. And then Linkin Park came up, and basically
I was
that,
just thinking about Linkin Park, and the song Crawling
yes.
was one that kind of got me into
Yes,
wanting to
that's
listen to some heavier stuff too.
the whole Hybrid Theory album was basically, it was just defining me, basically, because I really enjoyed the screaming parts. And that's when my parents started to be like, what the hell is he listening to? Because the hip hop stuff was just, yeah, it's popular, everybody loves it, okay. But the more heavy stuff was, I think my parents were thinking, and maybe also a little bit scared because you have a lot of stereotypes bound to metal music, like corpse paint and wearing black only and all that crap. And I guess my parents were a little bit scared,
Mhm.
especially my mom. My mom is more of a regular person, I would say. I'm kind of a crazy guy, usually, especially when it comes to music. And yeah, my dad was just tolerant. I remember listening to Amon Amarth, one of their early songs, with my dad. And he usually was more of the Elvis and Johnny Cash guy. But he really enjoyed their music as well. So I was like, why not?
Yeah.
And
That's heavy
I
right
feel like
there.
I'm on
Oh, I
yes,
love Amon Amarth. Some Viking metal right there.
I,
Some
I,
good stuff.
I can't remember the title, but I know he really enjoyed that. And I still think my mom thought the classic thing moms think it's just a face. And now, 15 years later, she's like, God dang it. It's not a face.
That's funny. It sounds like my mom.
Oh
It
yeah.
really does. Because I got the tattoos, the lip piercing, the nose ring, and it just keeps going. And oh, is he ever going to grow up?
Yeah,
Uh,
and how many times have you heard in the last few years that you need to get a haircut too?
Oh, I've heard a lot about different haircuts, but
that's
that's out of the question now.
that's basically just a standard thing with the hair.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
I remember I was still living at home and wanted to get my first piercing. And I remember asking my mom and dad, if I do it, do I have to move out or not? Because I think I was a little bit of the classic asshole kid, especially in the hip hop phase. And then the metal phase came, and my mom and dad were, do it, it's your body, and you have to suffer from the pain. So I went out and got my first one. I don't have it anymore. It was the middle one. I regretted it 3 years later because it destroyed my teeth.
Oh,
So then I took it out and got these ones. And yeah, over
very
10,
nice.
over 10 years ago. And I didn't take them out once. They are basically a body part of me. Yeah, and also Slipknot, of course, huge influence, as you can tell.
Oh yeah, yeah.
As you can tell. I didn't even wear this on purpose. I wear this because I guess we still have -5 degrees Celsius. I hate it. I don't even know what that would be in Fahrenheit, but I can
I
Google
don't
it.
either.
It's too
I'm
cold.
sure it's cold.
A-
It's
All
gonna
I
be
can
cold here tonight too.
all I can say it's too cold. But I will Google it. Celsius, Fahrenheit. Okay, 0 degrees Celsius would be 32 Fahrenheit.
We're below that then.
So it's basically 23 Fahrenheit.
Okay.
Okay.
It's been about 28 here.
Yeah.
So,
We're at about 23 right now. We're
It's too,
about at what you're at.
it's too cold. I hate
It
it.
is.
agreed.
I can't wait for the sun to come back.
No, summer's my thing.
We
Yes.
like to go to the lake.
I just like to wear shorts and no jacket and not 10,000 hats, scarves, and all that stuff. Also, I hate being cold.
That's
And
the way I am too. I hate
and-
cold.
also, the lights are LED, so they don't heat.
Oh,
The softbox I had before was spreading a little bit of heat, and usually when I started a recording session with a hoodie, I took it off after 2 videos because I was getting warm. Now it's just like I can sit here for 8 hours and still there would be no heat at all from the light.
that's awesome.
Absolutely insane. I had a thought, but I lost it. Yeah, Slipknot was the thing I was going into. Basically, that was kind of the start to stay in the heavier music for me.
It's to open the floodgates for everyone, I think.
Yes,
Really.
and still they are still present and still good.
They are. And I think they just get better. But personal
Yes.
opinions.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now we are speechless.
Yeah, we are. We are.
I wrote down more stuff, but I think that's stuff for other episodes.
Okay.
Well, we can.
Yeah, 'cause we don't want to keep it too long, and I feel like that one was gonna be that's gonna be at least 30 minutes right there. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
you talked a lot.
I know, I talked a lot.
I also talked a lot. I don't know why, but today I am talking like a waterfall. I recorded some reactions today, more reactions than usual today, and I noticed I was talking way more than usual.
That's good though. That means you're opening up more. We did the same thing. We started off just like feeling all awkward and all that, but now it's so easy to do it.
Yes, especially when you see the feedback from the people.
Exactly.
Because that's one thing I guess people forget usually, especially on first recordings. You can't be over the top. Well, you can, but then your personality is that way, and I'm
Yeah, you
usually
set that bar pretty high.
yes, I'm usually very quiet when someone can see me, and if no one's there, I'm crazy. When I clean up my room, my apartment, I turn up the volume and go completely nuts. I don't care. No one can see it, so why not? But if people are there watching me, I wouldn't do it. for sure.
Yeah.
That's why it took me a little longer to even ask you if you would do a podcast with me.
No, totally down for this. Yeah, absolutely. It's fun. And it's like talking with a friend too.
Yes. Even though we are, I think, 3,000 miles apart. I
Yeah.
guess I'm not sure of the distance, but I think it's around 3,000 miles.
Man, that's really far.
That's really
I have no idea. Maybe I mixed up kilometers with miles again. It happens because I can't
Sounds
change.
about right, because I think back to where I'm from is a little over 1,000. So that's about right.
I can't switch my car to miles because then I would be too fast every time. Let me check. I think I mixed it up again because 3,000 miles would be nearly or over 6,000 kilometers. So I mix it up. Around 2,000 miles would be more correct. Let's say it like this. Yeah, I thought we could add something, but I think we will leave it for the next one because we are
Okay.
at around 50 minutes now.
Oh wow.
And I
All
think
right.
that's kind of a good timing.
I think so
And
too.
for the pilot, I think it's very, very good.
Okay. And then
Yeah.
we'll just, you know, let me know with your schedule and we'll get another one set up.
Yes, and also what the viewers slash listeners might want to know: the first episode will be on your channel, the second episode will be on my channel, the third episode on yours, and we are going back and forth between both
Okay.
channels.
All
And
right.
I guess I'm the editor because I'm the recorder. I
I guess
don't,
so.
I don't care. I love to
And in
edit
all
video.
honesty, you do a better job.
Stop. You can do it
Just
as well.
I know, but you sir, you do much better.
Thank you. Thank you.
well, if you need me to do anything, let me know. But I'm
Yeah.
sure you can handle that part too.
I think you already did. Now, since we are recording it, I can spoil it because I used our free comic selves,
Okay.
and the viewers will see it around us. Actually,
That's right.
above us in this corner. No, in this corner, I will switch it up. That's what I hate about capturing video conference stuff, because I'm on this side, you are on this side, which kind of fits because the camera is here, but for the post production it's horrible. But I will make it work as usual.
Sure.
And I guess that's the first episode. Do you want to say anything else? Well, I have to say something because I thought of an idea. If you agree, we can kind of collect comments with topics we can talk about and add a little community segment at the end.
Absolutely.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, that is a great idea.
Okay, so comment. What should we talk about? Because I think we will run out of topics somewhere
That's
in the
true.
future.
Yeah.
Also,
I don't know. There's
I think the community loves to be part of it.
I do too.
Mhm.
I do too. And that's where we like to go with that community feedback. There's only so much of it you can stay on track with, though, because
Yes,
it just, yeah. But yeah, definitely, we'll keep track of what comments are below. Don't you do that? Below.
below,
Yeah. Let us know what you guys want to hear us talk about.
for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. See,
That
there it is again.
wait. That being said,
Dennis is gonna pick it up now.
I don't think so because I'm usually doing my videos alone, so I don't have to say it like this.
True.
My channel is a complete one-man show.
Yes, it is.
Everything is self-made or at least used by myself. And yeah, I think we are losing track again, so I think we should end it here.
Okay,
If you enjoyed it,
that sounds good.
make sure to subscribe to both channels, of
Yeah.
course.
Wolf.
Yes, please.
Dennis, we'll link Dennis's channel
And
down
I
below.
and I will link yours in the second episode, which
Okay.
has to be done sometime. And
Yeah.
yeah, as usual, I hope I will see you next time.
See you next
We'll
time.
see you next time. I'm Chels.
And I'm Matt.
And you're.
Dennis.